When were angels created? Their origin. Before creation. Before a single star lit up the heavens, before the earth took shape, before God said, "Let there be light," an entire realm of spiritual beings already existed. They witnessed creation unfold. They shouted for joy as God laid the foundations of the world. And understanding their origin not only deepens your knowledge of Scripture, it strengthens your confidence that the God who formed the angels is the same God who watches over you. Today, we're exploring a profound mystery. When were angels created, and what does their existence before the world tell us about God's purpose, power, and love? Section 1. Angels existed before the earth. Most people assume angels appear somewhere in the middle of the biblical story, but the Bible paints a different picture, one that places angels before the creation of the physical universe. Job 38:47 gives the clearest answer. When the foundations of the earth were laid, the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. This verse reveals three key truths. 1. Angels already existed before earth. The sons of God, a common term for heavenly beings, were present as observers, not participants, when God laid earth's foundations. 1. Angels responded with celebration. They shouted for joy. The spiritual realm rejoiced at God's creative work long before humanity ever walked the earth. 1. Angels were not created. During the 6 days, if they were there when the earth was founded, they must have existed before. Section 2. Angels were created, not eternal. There is only one eternal being, God Himself. Angels, like humans, had a beginning. They are created beings, finite, dependent, and completely under God's authority. Colossians 1:16 says, "By Him all things were created, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities." Thrones, dominions, and rulers refer to angelic ranks. This means angels were created by God. Angels were created for God. Angels are not self-sustaining spiritual forces. Angels did not exist alongside God from eternity past. There is an order to creation, and angels are part of it. Section 3. When exactly were angels created? Scripture doesn't give the date or day number. Instead, the Bible gives clues that help us place their creation in the timeline. Based on biblical evidence, the most likely moment was between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. This is a significant detail. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Heavens here refers not just to the sky or space, but the spiritual realm, the unseen heaven. Genesis 1:2. And the earth was without form and void. Between these verses lies a gap of unspecified time during which the spiritual creation could have taken place. This time frame fits perfectly because angels existed before the earth's foundation. They observed creation. Weak. They rejoiced as the rest of creation unfolded. Their fall, including Satan's rebellion, likely occurred after their creation but before humanity's temptation. Section 4. Why God created angels before humans. This detail matters far more than most people realize. Reason 1. To form a heavenly witness. Creation is not only physical, it is spiritual and cosmic. Angels witnessed God's creative acts, His wisdom, and His glory. They watched as God shaped light, land, seas, plants, stars, animals, humanity. Reason 2. To prepare for their role as ministers. Hebrews 1:14 says angels were created as ministering spirits. To minister to humanity, they had to exist before humanity. Reason 3. To establish the cosmic hierarchy. There is order in God's universe. God, heavenly beings, humanity, creation under humanity. Angels were created before humanity to take their place in God's cosmic order. Reason 4. To stand as witnesses of God's redemptive plan. Peter 1:12 says angels long to look into the mystery of salvation. From the beginning they stood as heavenly witnesses to creation, rebellion, redemption, judgment, restoration. God created angels before humans so they could behold and testify to His unfolding plan. Section 5. What this reveals about God. Understanding the origin of angels isn't just theological, it is deeply encouraging. 1. God is a God of order. He didn't improvise creation. He established a heavenly administration, then crafted the universe with precision. 1. God was never alone. Before humans ever existed, a vast spiritual family worshipped him. You were created as part of a much larger story. 1. God intentionally watches over his creation. Angels were designed to minister, protect, and serve. Your life is never unobserved. God's care is far more active than you realize. 1. God's plan is bigger than our eyes can see. The spiritual realm existed long before the physical one. A reminder that your faith is rooted in a reality far larger than your circumstances. Section 6. Closing encouragement. Before God shaped Adam from the dust, before the Garden of Eden, before time as we know it, God had already filled the heavens with a host of glorious beings, declaring his power, his beauty, and his wisdom. And the same God who created, ordered, and commanded the heavenly realm is the same God who watches over you today. So walk confidently. You are part of a story older than the world itself. Settings. Add clean subtitles with no outline. Use a male, clear American voice for the narrator.